Hello and welcome to today's video. As you can see, I've got a pair of AMC325 motor controllers on the workbench today. The one in front is mine, and the one in back is the one that the customer sent in. The complaint was that it just doesn't work, doesn't power up, nothing happens. And it is actually works perfectly fine. There's a slight wiring difference on this one than there is on the standard AMC325. So I thought I'd show that to you to prevent people from, shipping in spending a lot of money on shipping on motor controllers that are perfectly functional. And yeah, so this is your typical AMC 325 motor controller with a 4-pin connector on here with only 2 pins populated. Those 2 wires go to the brake relay, so when you regeneratively brake on the motor controller, it shorts those 2 together and the brake lights come on, which helps the people behind you. On this motor controller, the one that we're having issues with, we can see that its connector has 4 wires going into it instead of 2. Those other 2 wires, so the top 2 wires are the same brake regen. The bottom 2 are for the emergency stop switch, which is typically a normally closed switch. So if we go back to the first one here that only has the 2 wires, you can see the 2 wires coming in here, and they've got this little jumper. It's kind of hard to see in there, so I've got a separate connector here. This is what it looks like. So this little jumper bypasses the emergency stop switch. Why they're bypassed? I don't know. It is high voltage, so you got to be careful. The pack voltage does go out through that connector and back. So if we look into this guy, you can see those 2 blue wires go to that same spot. And that is all that's wrong with this drive. It works perfectly fine. We just need to install a bypass. And once we do that, she fires right up and it works perfectly fine. So I go ahead and clip this in. So if I bypass the 2 blue wires there, so you can see they're on this side, and I'm bypassing it, my phone will focus. There you go. So we're simply shorting those 2 together as if we had an emergency stop switch out here. And if we go ahead, and we're using the nice test box here, go ahead and flip this on. It fires up, put it forward, give her a little throttle. No problem. Regen, no problem. Reverse, no problem. Regen, no problems at all. So it works perfectly fine. It is literally just because it just thinks that the emergency switch is engaged. Emergency stop, emergency switch. So yeah, that's the only difference. We are running off that drive. You can see I've got it's powered here, and it's the one that's connected to the motor, so we're not doing any kind of trickery or anything. And I wouldn't be able to get away with it anyway because my supervisor's here. Hey Milo. Milo, what you doing? Being good? Yeah. Camera's probably kind of bright. But anyways, yeah, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. I took the cover off just to show. If you don't need the emergency stop switch, you need to bypass those 2 pins with a little jumper, like so. And it'll work perfectly fine, because typically that's not populated in the Solectria Force or the E10. So I don't know where this drive came from, but it probably came out of something that required emergency stop switch, and so that's why it's wired differently. But yeah, the drive works perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it. So anyways, yep, thanks for watching. Bye.